Let's talk about Star Citizen 4.0. The gutting of Star Citizen 4.0. People keep saying like, hey, everyone's trying to distract from the fact that they're dropping out comments by saying, oh, 4.0 is just about server meshing. We're not saying, okay, bring it in close. Nobody's saying that these features being dropped out is a good thing or that 4.0 shouldn't have more stuff in it. What we are saying is that there has always been a point to 4.0, just like there was a point to 3.0 and 2.0. If there wasn't something specific that determined 4.0 being a thing, they would have just shipped 4.0 back when they said they were going to in 2016. They would have just named some update 4.0 because they just wanted to get to say, yay, 4.0's out. Good job, everybody. Could have done that for any point in the last 7 years. They could have done that. So there is a reason 4.0 hasn't come out. And that's what they introduced all the way back when they first started talking about 4.0. Additional solar system locations, travel to multiple star systems. So this is 2016 CitizenCon. Here is the explanation, the original explanation for what they wanted 4.0 to be.
The F8 or something like that. So anyway.
Oh, you're quiet, buddy.
So this is which will be, that'll be the first time we'll go beyond Stanton to other star systems. I'm not going to say how.
Okay, so there's our first thing. Basically just going to other star systems.
How many star systems yet? Depends how much we'll be able to build with our content pipeline, which we'll show you a little bit.
One star system.
We're very focused on exploration and discovery will be sort of highlight there for us.
Okay, so the rest of this doesn't really actually happen for 4.0. Exploration and discovery is like, you can't really use long distance scanning. Science and research isn't really a thing with no research or science. But like from this slide, you get the main idea of what they're going for with the 4.0 update,
reasons,
right?
Science and research, and the RSI Orion and the Crucible will be.
And they literally call it 4.0 jump points.
Two of the big ships that we will be doing there. So that's the roadmap for Star Citizen.
Okay, so that is one example of what the heck is 4.0. Let's go to the next example of what the heck is 4.0. There are many, many places where you can confirm what exactly is the point of 4.0 and what it always has been and what they're kind of going for.
That's a very, very important part of the 11th pillar. And the last one, if we go forward, Paul, is server meshing. So when we get server meshing, that is, we think, the last piece of the puzzle to have the full game experience. And this is our ability to go, right now we have about 50 players on a server. We probably will be able to increase that number because of band culling and stuff, but it's still going to cap out at a certain level. With server meshing, we'll be able to get to thousands of players playing concurrently in the same locations, star systems. They're not all going to be able to have 1,000 people dogpiling together. They won't be able to render it all at the same time, but you certainly will be able to have 1,000 people on the planet of Hurston, for instance.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
So the server meshing is the last key piece because that will allow us to have a truly massively populated universe of players as well as AI and having servers that dynamically scale up and down to take care of the processing needs of that.
So there's no mention of 4.0 here, but clearly the same goal is there. Hey, we are shooting for server meshing. This is a very clear and obvious sort of thing that we are going for the next major update. But maybe that's not quite enough. Let's go to the next one. Let's see what was being said in 2019.
Sorry, hang on a sec. I get another. There should be a slide that we go to, not a ship. A slide. Come on, what's the slide?
Technical difficulties, anyone?
There you go.
Hey, Jake, how you doing?
So in this coming year, we were sort of showing you what we're going to do. So we are going to have the pyro system next year.
Hey, so in this one, they say pyrodynamic weather jump points and more. So you could say dynamic weather's supposed to be there, but that's not even, that wasn't even on the release view. But again, the focus here, pyro, jump points, and thus server meshing. This is what it always comes back to for 4.0, what the important part of that update was. I don't think it was until maybe 2021 that we started to see different features being associated with the 4.0 update. And even then, most people were thinking, okay, this is like 4.x. Like this isn't even the 4.0 updates that they're talking about, because you'd get the road to 4.0, I think it was. And us going through this process is not washing away the fact that so much of this was so very inaccurate. This is more just about what the idea of the 4.0 update is, because it's okay to be disappointed with feature delays, but it doesn't make sense to get on people's cases when they're pointing out the fact of 4.0, and that is that it is related to server meshing. Like Jake said in chat, like they could just change the name of it to 325 if they wanted to. Doesn't really matter that much, but there's a reason that we kept going, okay, we're going from 3.10 to 4.0. We were in that state at one point. They were going to go from 3.9 to 4.0, but we didn't get 4.0 for 15 more updates, and that's because 4.0 is waiting for server meshing. And at the end of the day, that's what it's going to release with. You can even go back to our hype videos about 4.0 over the last 6 months to 2 years, and at the end of those videos, it always just comes back to server meshing. It's what it is. And as long as they can get the update out with server meshing working, it's certainly not the best 4.0 I would have hoped for. I wouldn't say it's equivalent to 3.0 in terms of the way it changes the game, but it's successful if server meshing is working, in my opinion.